Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to crochet a basic everyday granny square. Now these can be used to make bags, sweaters, blankets, so they're a great skill to learn. This is just a basic one. There are more complicated ones, more design ones, but this one is just a basic one. So what you will need is a 5mm crochet hook. Doesn't have to be anything fancy, just any 5mm crochet hook. Any scissors, these are just old scissors. And a darning needle. 2 sew-in ends, and then your yarn of choice. I am using a worsted weight acrylic. I believe it's from Walmart, although I'm not sure of the brand, but any 4-weight yarn will work. Honestly, any yarn will work. It kind of just depends on what size you want your granny square to be. Alright, so to get started, we are going to first make a slip knot. So you're going to take your yarn, and the way I like to make slip knots is I like to take the end, wrap it around my 2 fingers on my non-dominant hand, then wrap it around again, but towards away from where my nails are. And then I'm going to take my pointer finger on the other hand, and I'm going to put it under the first loop and grab the second one, like this, and you just pull it. And you'll know it worked if you can adjust the size of the loop. That's really what a slip knot is. So now you can lay it down like this, grab your hook, and you want to insert it so that the left side has the working yarn and on the right side is the tail. Okay, so to start, we're going to chain 4. So in order to chain, we are going to overlap. We are going to yarn over. So I have this loop on my hook already from the slip knot. I'm going to yarn over so that there are 2 loops. And I hold the tail in my thumb and finger on this hand, the hand that's holding the hook. And that way this loop doesn't move, because if I don't hold it, then you can see it can twist over and get really confusing. So you just want to hold that tail with this hand so that the loop doesn't move. And then with your left hand, you're going to yarn over from the back to the front. Once you have the 2 loops on your hook, you're going to take this loop and put it through this loop. So you're just going to grab the hook is going to grab the second stitch and pull it through the first one, just like that. And that is your first chain. So you're going to do that a total of 4 times, so 3 more. So I'm going to still hold this side in my right hand, and then I'm going to loop over with my left hand, and I'm going to pull it through just like that. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and pull through. Just like that. Okay, so the next step, you're going to kind of make a little loop with these 4 chains. So we have our 4 chains, like here, we can count them, 1, 2, 3, 4. So in the first chain, you can see this V right here. Now if we open that V up a little bit, we can find a hole kind of in there. So we're going to put our hook into that hole that we saw earlier. And we're going to put it through so that it looks like there's 2 loops on the hook. And now this is called a slip knot. So we're going to yarn over with our working yarn. And we're going to pull it through the first one and the second loops, like this, so that it became a circle and it's joined. And you can see in the middle there's a hole created. That's what we're going to be working into. So to start our first row, we are going to chain 2. So same as we did when we were chaining 4, we're going to yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through, just like that. So you should have the circle and then 2 chain stitches. Now I'm creating this granny square with half double crochets. It's a half double crochet granny square. So in order to do half double crochet, we have to yarn over before we go into the stitch. So I'm going to yarn over before I go into anything. So there's 2 loops starting on my hook. And then I'm going to go into that middle hole right there that we created earlier. I'm going to put my hook in through there like that, so that this part is on my hook and the 2 loops that I had prior. I'm going to yarn over, and I'm only going to pull it through the circle. This is called a magic loop. So I'm going to pull it through the magic loop. And then I should be left with 3 stitches on my hook. Now I'm going to get rid of all these 3 stitches at the same time. So I'm going to yarn over. That one's getting in the way. I'm going to yarn over, and I'm going to pull through all 3 stitches. And that is what a half double crochet is. So I'll show you again. So I'm going to yarn over before I go into anything. I'm going to go back into the same place that I did, so that there's this one and the 2 stitches. I'm going to yarn over, and I'm going to pull through so that I'm left with 3 stitches on my hook. And then I'm going to yarn over again and pull through all 3 stitches like that. Now in granny squares, we have clusters of 3 usually. So if you can see on this one that's finished, there's 3 stitches, 3 stitches, 3 stitches, right? There's little clusters of 3. So on this one, we've only done 2 half double crochets, but our chain 2 acts as our third stitch in the cluster. So this cluster is complete. So now our next step is to make a corner. And to make a corner, which would be these parts right here, we have to chain 3. So we're going to yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, just like this. So we have our cluster of 3 and 3 chain stitches. Now we have to make 4 clusters of 3 in this row, in this first row, to make our square. So we're going to make our second cluster of 3. So to start, I'm going to yarn over like the other half double crochets. I'm going to insert into the middle. Okay, so I have the magic circle and the 2 loops. I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to pull through the middle, and then I should be left with 3 loops. I'm going to yarn over once more, and I'm going to pull through all 3 loops. Now if you're struggling to get through all 3 loops in one turn, you can just do 1 at a time. So I'll show you what that looks like. So if I yarn over, insert, pull through, yarn over and pull through just that one. And then when I get to my 3, to make it easier, you can yarn over and just pull through 1, come back up, pull through 1, come back up, and pull through 1 and come back up. Something that also does make it easier is if you make the stitches a little bit looser, just as you're trying to figure out the stitches. If you make them tighter, it's going to be a little bit of a fight to get it through. So now, so far, I have 2 half double crochets, and I need 3. So I'm going to do 1 more. I'm going to yarn over, go into the middle, yarn over, pull through the middle, yarn over, and pull through all 3. So now I have 1 cluster of 3, 3 chain stitches, and another cluster of 3. So now we need to chain 3 again to make another corner. So I'm going to yarn over, pull through, that's 1, yarn over, pull through, that's 2, yarn over, pull 1, that's yarn over, pull through, that's 3. So now that we have our corner made, we can go right into making our cluster of 3. So I'm going to yarn over, go into the circle, pull through the circle, yarn over, and pull through all 3. That was a little bit fast, so I'll slow it down for this next one. So you can see our square is also starting to form. We have 2 corners so far and 2 clusters. And we are making our 3rd cluster. So half double crochet, we're going to yarn over, go into the circle. So we have our magic circle and our 2 loops. We're going to yarn over and pull it through the magic circle. So we have 3 loops. We're going to yarn over and we're going to pull through all 3 loops. So now we have 2, gotta do it one more time. Yarn over, go into the middle, yarn over, pull through the middle, yarn over and pull through all 3, like so. And now we have 3 clusters and 2 corners. So our next step, now that we're done our cluster of 3, is to make another corner. So we're going to chain 3, so chain 1, chain 2, and we'll chain 3. So now we're going to do another 3 half double crochets. So yarn over, go into the middle, yarn over, pull through. So we have our 3, yarn over, and pull through all 3. We'll do that 2 more times. We can see our square is almost done. So we're going to yarn over, go into the middle, yarn over, pull through just the middle. So we have 3 loops on our hook, yarn over, and pull through all 3. And then our last half double crochet of this round. So yarn over, go through the middle, pull through the middle, yarn over, and pull through all 3. So now we're almost done. We just need to make 1 more corner. So we'll chain 3, 2, 3. And now we have all of our clusters, so we're just going to slip stitch into the beginning of our first one. This will be into the chain 2 that we made at the beginning of our round. So we're just going to insert our hook. So this is our cluster of 3. This was our chain 2 right here. And I like to just insert my hook right into this stitch here. Doesn't really matter where, but that's what mine looks like. Just as long as it's in this first chain 2 right here. So I'm going to pull my hook through so I have the loop and the stitch. I'm going to yarn over and I'm going to pull through both of these like so. And that is our first row. So that is this part right here that we just completed. Okay, so with grinding screws, each row gets a little bit longer. So for our last row, we needed 4 clusters. For this next row, we're going to need 8 clusters. So you can see on this one, there was 4 here. And now on the next row, there is going to be 8. But the stitches will stay the same. The pattern just kind of repeats itself over and over again. But to start this row, we are going, it's a little bit different. We're going to chain 3. So we're going to yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, and yarn over, pull through. Now this just allows us the length to get over to this stitch here. So we're going to do 3 half double crochets into this corner right here. So I'm going to yarn over, go into this corner, pull through just the corner. So now I have 3 stitches on my hook. I'm going to yarn over all 3, like so. See, that loop was created, and we have 1 half double crochet in this corner. So we're going to do 2 more, yarn over into the corner, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and pull through all 3. So last time, yarn over, go into the corner, pull through, yarn over, and go through all 3. So now we have this loop and 1 cluster of 3. So now we got to create another corner. we're at a corner and we got to create this corner here. So we're going to chain 3, so yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. And now we're going to go back into the same corner and do 3 more half double crochets. So yarn over, go into the same corner, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3, yarn over, go into the corner, yarn over, pull through just the corner, yarn over, and pull through all 3. And then last time, yarn over, into the corner, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3. Like so. So you can see here, we have our corner like this. And now to move on to the next corner, we're going to chain 1, like this. Now we're going to do the same thing in these 3 corners. So I'll show you again on this one. We're going to yarn over, go into the corner, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3, yarn over, into the corner, pull through just the corner, yarn over, pull through all 3, and we'll do 1 more half double crochet in this one. So 3 half double crochets, then we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 3 more half double crochets in this corner. 2 and 3. So now we have our second corner. So we have our first corner here, our second corner here, and we're going to do those steps in this corner and in this corner right here. So I'm going to do those and then I will be back. Okay, so I'm on my last corner, and this corner is actually a little bit different. I should have mentioned this before, but when you are on your last corner, so this was the first one, second one, and third one. When you're on your fourth one, you're going to do the 3 half double crochets like regular, and then chain 3 for the corner. But then when you go to do your next little cluster of 3, you're only going to do 2 half double crochets. So I'm going to do 2 into here instead of 3, like this. So all of these steps are the same, except you're just only putting 2 half double crochet here. And that is because we were going to slip stitch into our chain of 3 at the beginning, and these chains will act as our third half double crochet. So if you can see, we have chain 1, chain 2, and chain 3. So we're going to insert our hook into the second chain. So this is the first one, this is the second one, and I'm just going to insert my hook right in there. And this is the third chain. Insert my hook right in there so that I have that and the loop on my hook. I'm going to overlap, or I'm going to yarn over, and I'm going to pull through both stitches to connect. And then that is the second row. Okay, so for our last row, we are going to start by chaining 2. So yarn over, chain 1, yarn over, chain 1. Now this row, we're going to go straight into this loop below us, which is why we only have to chain 2. So we're going to put 2 half double crochets in here because this chain 2 is going to act as our third half double crochet. So we're going to yarn over, go into this loop, or this, going to yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3. We're going to do that twice so that we have 1 cluster here. And since this isn't a corner, we only have to put 3. We don't have to do any chains or anything. And then I'm going to chain 1 to get to my next one. Now this one is a corner, so we're going to do 3 half double crochets, then chain 3, and then 3 more half double crochets. Same as the corners we were doing in the previous row. So I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to do 3 half double crochets. And then I'm going to chain 3. And then I'm going to do 3 half double crochets again. like so. So you can see we had our one here and then our corner here. Now this is going to be the pattern for the rest of the granny square. This is going to be the pattern. So in spaces that aren't corners, so in this space right here, we're going to put 3 half double crochets. In a corner, we're going to have 3 half double crochets, 3 chain stitches, and then 3 more half double crochets. And then 3 half double crochets, and then a corner, we're going to have 3 half double crochets, 3 chains, and 3 half double crochets. And that pattern is going to continue until we get to this corner. And this corner is going to be the last one. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I will be back once I'm at this corner. I'm just going to pop in here real quick to remind you that when you are going from one to the other, you have to chain 1 in the middle. So I just finished my 3 half double crochets here in the middle. So then I'm going to chain 1, and then I can move to the corner. I'm going to do the corner really fast. And then I'm going to chain 1 in order to move on. Now I'm at the last corner, and I've already chained 1, and so now all I have to do to finish off my granny square is slip stitch into this chain here. So this was our chain 2 from the beginning of the row. I'm going to insert my hook into the second chain like this. I'm going to yarn over, and I'm going to pull through both. Oops, I got caught. I'm going to pull through both of those loops. And that is the finished granny square. Now using this pattern, you can make the granny square as big as you want. You can add as many rows as you want. You just repeat this 3rd row as many times as you want to get the desired size that you want. Each row will just get longer, and there will be more spaces to go into. So in the previous row, there was only the corners and then 1 in the middle. In this next row, there's the corners and then there's 2 in the middle. So they will just get bigger as you add rows. But that is where I'm going to stop this one. It is what I need for the pattern that I'm making. So I'm just going to cut off a little bit, just enough to weave in the ends. And I'm going to pull this loop through. Now I flipped it over, and I have the yarn from the beginning and I have the yarn at the end. So I'm going to take my needle, which is a little plastic one, doesn't have to be fancy. I'm going to thread my yarn through, and for the middle one, I just like to go around here. So I'm just going to put my needle through these loops, and I'm just putting it through the middle stitches, just around here. It doesn't really matter how you weave in the ends, just as long as it is secure enough. So now I went this way, I'm just going to go back so that it's harder for the yarn to become unraveled. Like this. Like that. And then I'm just going to cut off the rest, just like that. And then for this one, I'm going to put my yarn through my needle. And the best way that I found to do this for sewing purposes afterward is to complete this one right here. So I'm going to take my needle. This is the front. This is the good side that's facing me. And I'm going to take my yarn and I'm going to put it through this V right here, right to the left of my knot, like this. And then I'm going to put it back through this knot right here. And it kind of just creates another V, which will make it easier for when you are sewing. And then I am going to put it just through anywhere, basically. I'm going to do it right under here. I just want to get it to the back of the project to weave in at the back because I don't want it on the good side. So I'm just gonna find a couple stitches just to weave it in and out of. It's not really a correct method to this, just as long as it's secure and it's not going to come undone. And once I've done that, I can cut off the end and the granny square is complete. Okay, thank you for watching. I hope that this tutorial was helpful for you. I hope that you were able to follow along and make your own granny square. And I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. See you next time.